Now that I'm traveling for an indefinite period, I need to be very intentional with the gear that I choose to bring with me in order to make traveling and my life easier and more enjoyable. Here is all the gear that I currently own for cycling, YouTube, and for life. And hopefully through it, you can find ways to improve your gear and kit. What's up? I'm Zach Gallardo. Life is short, but don't make it shorter, so ride your bike every day to be reasonably dangerous, and subscribe for more fixed gear videos just like this one. Of course, we're going to be talking about a lot of gear today, and if you want to check out the gear that I use on a daily basis, feel free to check the links out in the description at any point during this video. For steel bikes that weigh well under 20 pounds or 9 kilograms that you can customize to be your dream bike right out of the box, consider checking out Wabi Cycles linked at the top of the description. Choosing gear and a daily kit is a fine balancing act. For me, my gear has to be useful, reliable, and make my life appreciably better in a way where its usefulness literally outweighs its weight. Now, I'm not going full digital nomad where I'm sleeping in bunk beds at dirty hostels and cutting my toothbrush in half. Rather, I'm doing more home-based traveling. I pick a city, I live there for a bit, till I move on to another city in a few months. Starting with the gear that I carry on my person, like any sane human being, I have my keys and my wallet. I also have a small microfiber towel. This is especially useful for the rainy season here in Taiwan. My phone usually lives in my bag. I have a Galaxy Note 8, which is super useful for when I have spur-of-the-moment ideas and I can write them down. And I even outline videos on this phone, and I'm presenting all of my ideas in this video right from my phone. And onto my bag, I have a black chrome Citizen Messenger. What I like about messenger bags is that super easy to just swing around my shoulder and access anything that I may need inside. It's also waterproof, so it gives me that extra peace of mind that I know that my gear inside of here, my laptop and my camera equipment, is all going to be safe even if it is raining and I'm riding my bike. I also like that it has a lot of different compartments to help organize all, I think it's 30 liters of this capacity. I find this U-lock compartment particularly useful. Makes it quick to lock up my bike without disheveling the rest of the contents of my bag. And I also really enjoy this phone compartment. My entire livelihood of this YouTube channel is in this bag. This messenger bag certainly does hold up and gives me a lot of confidence and peace of mind knowing that my gear is safe and protected, and also reasonably comfortable when I'm riding my bike. Chrome's not sponsoring me, so I'm gonna stop gushing about this bag and let's get on to the contents. First up in the main compartment of my bag is my productivity stuff, all the stuff that I use to make YouTube videos. The laptop I use is a ThinkPad X1 Extreme, durable, reliable, powerful, and relatively lightweight. As for the rest of the things in this compartment, I have these 3 sacks of stuff. This black one right here holds all my chargers and audio equipment, loose cables. This one right here is my set of headphones that I use to edit videos. They're a pair of Audio-Technica studio headphones, and this gray bag has miscellaneous camera equipment, microphone, little tripod, lens, external hard drive. Moving on to the front compartments, I have my U-lock, Abus Granit X Plus. I've been using it for 4 years now. It's obviously doing its job because it's still here and I haven't had a bike stolen yet. On this left compartment, I have an umbrella because rain is a thing here, unlike California. And a Zojirishi thermos because coffee is my friend. And moving on to the secondary big compartments, we have all of my bike gear. First off, we have a cable lock. I use this to lock up my saddle to my frame. Also in here is my Topeak Road Morph G. This is a portable pump that can actually get to higher PSIs. It's got a gauge, and this is the only pump that I'm using as I travel. And when it's not raining, my ass savers fenders are also in this bike stuff compartment, but I'm getting use out of them currently. Then we have my ice cream sandwich tool bag. I only chose to bring basic tools, and if I need something done like having my bottom bracket re-greased, I'll just take my bike to a shop. In here, I have an emergency inhaler just in case Keanu Reeves and I run into each other.
You're breathtaking!
And I have my Park Tool Allen key set. I chose to bring the bigger one. I used to just carry around my IB, whatever it's called, the tiny one, but I chose to bring this because it goes up to 10 millimeters. It's also just nicer to use than that tiny one. I have a Cyclo Rivoli chain breaker. I don't know why. I don't think I'm ever going to use it. I have 2 Park tire levers along with a PDW 3 wrencho. I actually don't know why I have this either, since my bike uses Allen keys for the wheels. I also have a universal spoke wrench. not sure why, and a Park Tool patch kit. And for my lights, I have a NiteRider Lumina 1100 boost along with the mount. Full disclosure, NiteRider, they just sent this to me. I've been using it ever since, and honestly, it's way overkill for 99% of my riding. And my taillight lives on my bag, so I don't have to carry around a mount for it. I have my Brooks saddle cover, and inside here I have a rag to wipe down my bike after a rainy ride, and an extra tube. I also carry my camera in my main compartment and my tripod in a separate bag that I sling across my chest. And when I ride my bike, I wear a Pace cycling cap that I got off Amazon, keeps the sweat out of my eyes and my hair in better order than if I didn't wear a cap, and a Giro Trinity helmet. $30 well spent, because this could very well save my life one day. I hope it doesn't come to that though. For my bike, it's a 2018 58cm Wabi Special in powder-coated yellow. They only did the powder-coated versions for 1 year, so I feel pretty special about that. My bike is still mostly unchanged ever since this became my daily bike back in fall of 2018. It's still mostly stock because the stock components, they're really solid. I do plan on making some changes just because I want some more fixie points. The only changes that I've made so far are the grips to Yoshida Champ grips, just because they look cooler, a Brooks Swift saddle because once you go Brooks, you never go back, Exustar clipless pedals, along with a PDW Sparrow Cage because I'm a sucker for birds and being hydrated. The biggest change that I've made is that I got rid of my walled basket. My messenger bag is enough. I use the basket at home because it's very useful for grocery shopping, but in Taiwan, it's reasonably cheap to go out and eat for every single meal. One change I've already made is a front brake because traffic here is pretty bad. Taipei is a dense place, and I also plan on riding in the mountains, and I don't want to destroy my knees. I will be switching from clipless to toe clips and straps very soon. As much as I love my Quack Urbanites, they absorb all of the water, and I'm not trying to get athlete's foot every time I take my bike out for a ride. I don't need more than one pair of shoes. I will be retiring my Quack Urbanite mids, and instead I will be wearing these fancy waterproof Timberlands as my daily shoes, and you bet that I'm going to ride my bike in them. Toe clips and straps are on the way. I'm also going to change out my cockpit for more fixie points. I'm getting wide risers. There's no getting around that. I love wide risers. And I will cut down my steer tube a bit. The way that I'm currently traveling with my bike is getting it packed at a shop in a bike box and then just taking it to the airport. I found that it's a huge hassle to get it packed, to lug that unwieldy box around, and to build it up and dispose of all the packaging materials. So I'm thinking about streamlining that whole process and getting a padded bike bag. As for my stuff that I use for life, my original plan was to go full traveler and not to have luggage except for my bike, but I found that it's a pain in the butt for me, and I'm happier when I have a more comfortable living situation. First up, my clothes. My wardrobe is pretty minimalist. I have 3 black linen shirts and 2 black t-shirts along with this yellow Rafa jacket for when it rains. On top of that, I have 2 pairs of Makers and Riders pants. They look like regular pants, but they have some nice additions that make them better for cycling. 7 pairs of socks, 7 pairs of unmentionables, and a pair of rainbow flip-flops for running to 7-Eleven. And in addition to my daily shoes, that's all my clothes. That's it. I do laundry once a week. It's all good. This is my toiletries bag. Inside is my toothbrush, contact lenses, medication, that sort of thing. And last is my stuff that I use for entertainment. If I had to cut some stuff, this would be it. But I get enough use and enjoyment out of it that I'm willing to lug it around. When I first came to Taiwan for entertainment, I just had my Nintendo Switch. I like it because at the end of the day, it's a way for me to completely disconnect and just let my mind turn off. It's really hard to do because whenever I watch something or read something, I start getting a lot of ideas on how I can make my YouTube channel better. But the Switch for me is my off switch for my brain, which is necessary to keep making videos long term. My second big thing for entertainment is my guitar and amp. When I first came to Taiwan, I just had my Switch, but I found that without a way for me to express myself musically and to practice something and to become better, I started to get really antsy. So I went out and bought a guitar and an amp here so I could have a creative outlet that has nothing to do with work. This is the gear that allows me to live my life the way that I like to live it. But let me know in the comments what your setup is and whether you have more stuff or less stuff. It's always interesting to see how much stuff and what stuff that people need to live their lives. So comment below. Speaking of the stuff that helps me to live a fulfilling life, our channel sponsor, Wabi Cycles, is the epitome of what makes cycling fun. Every one of Wabi's design choices are meticulously made to give you the purest ride quality for the money. And Wabi executes those choices perfectly with master craftsmen right here in Taiwan and a friendly bike shop in Denver, Colorado that is eager to answer your questions and get you on a bike that you'll love. This amounts to efficient, elegant, and timeless bikes that you can get from a passionate group of fellow cyclists. Wabi's relentless attention to detail results in Wallace, my 58 centimeter Wabi Special, weighing in at 17.5 pounds or 7.97 kilograms straight out of the box. That's well under 20 pounds for a completely steel lugged frame set that has no carbon components. That weight isn't just for quoting and impressing other cyclists though. It results in the best riding experience that I've ever had on a bike, with a snappy, responsive, and lively bike that only top shelf steel can bring. That pure fun makes it easy for me to ride Wallace, my Wabi Special, as my only bike as I travel throughout Asia. So if you're looking for the bike that could very well put an end to your search for the perfect bike, consider checking out Wabi Cycles, linked at the top of the description, because it really is the closest thing that I've ridden to the perfect bike. Remember to like this video if you found it useful or entertaining, or dislike it if it sucked. And subscribe for more fixed gear videos just like this one. And if you haven't ridden your bike yet, stop watching me right now and ride your bike, because life is short, but don't make it shorter. So ride your bike every day to be reasonably dangerous.